Everyone, let me ask you something. How many of you have felt your mind racing with doubts, fears, or negative thoughts? I want you to imagine if you could train your mind, just like you train your body, to become stronger, calmer, and unstoppable. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 simple habits that can transform your mindset and help you face life's challenges with confidence, clarity, and courage. These aren't just ideas, they are life-changing practices that anyone can start today. Positive self-talk is one of the most powerful tools you have to shape your mindset, yet it is often overlooked. Every day, your mind is like a stage where a conversation is constantly happening, thoughts passing by like actors performing a play. Some of these thoughts are kind, encouraging, and uplifting, while others are harsh, critical, and doubting. The truth is, your mind listens to these thoughts and begins to accept them as reality. Imagine if, instead of letting fear, insecurity, or self-criticism dominate that inner dialogue, you intentionally started speaking to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and belief. Start noticing the words you use when you think about yourself. Do you say, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough"? Or do you say, "I will try my best," and "I am capable of learning and growing"? It's not about pretending everything is perfect, but about choosing thoughts that empower rather than limit you. Positive self-talk is like planting seeds in the garden of your mind. When you nurture these seeds with patience, repetition, and awareness, they grow into strong, resilient trees that can withstand the storms of life. It could be as simple as waking up in the morning and telling yourself, "Today, I am stronger than yesterday," or pausing during a moment of fear and saying, "I have overcome challenges before. I can do it again." Over time, these words change your inner environment. They rewire your brain, strengthen your confidence, and give you the courage to face difficult situations with calm and clarity. The small habit of speaking kindly to yourself, of affirming your own potential every day, may seem subtle, but its impact is profound. It's the difference between a mind that is controlled by doubts and a mind that leads with clarity, purpose, and strength. Every thought is a choice, and every word you speak to yourself is a step toward building a mindset that can endure, achieve, and thrive. Gratitude is a simple yet transformative habit that has the power to completely change the way you experience life. Often we get so caught up in our struggles, our ambitions, and the challenges in front of us that we forget to pause and notice the small blessings that are already present. Gratitude is not about pretending that life is perfect or ignoring difficulties. It is about consciously recognizing the positive aspects, the gifts and the moments that bring joy, however small they may seem. When you make gratitude a daily practice, whether it's by writing down 3 things you are thankful for each morning or evening, or simply reflecting silently on the good in your life, you begin to shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. The mind is incredibly powerful, and what we focus on tends to grow. If you focus on what is missing or what has gone wrong, your mind amplifies negativity. But if you intentionally notice the things that are working, the people who support you, and the moments that bring happiness, your brain begins to rewire itself to see life through a lens of possibility, hope, and contentment. Gratitude also strengthens resilience. When challenges arise, instead of being consumed by frustration or despair, a grateful mind can find even a small silver lining, a lesson, or a hidden blessing. This doesn't mean that hardships disappear, but it gives you the strength to navigate them with a calmer, more centered mindset. You start to see that life is not just a series of problems to solve, but a collection of moments, some joyful, some challenging, all of which contribute to your growth and experience. Moreover, practicing gratitude improves your relationships. When you acknowledge the kindness, support, and love of others, you cultivate deeper connections and a sense of empathy that makes life richer and more meaningful. In essence, gratitude is like training your mind to focus on what nourishes it instead of what drains it. It's a daily reminder that even in ordinary days, there is extraordinary beauty, and even in difficult times, there is something to appreciate. By embedding this simple habit into your life, you begin to develop a mindset that is not only stronger and more resilient, but also happier, more peaceful, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. Continuous learning is one of the most important habits you can cultivate to develop a strong mindset. Life is constantly changing, and the challenges we face today are very different from those of yesterday. If we stop learning, our mind becomes stagnant, rigid, and vulnerable to fear and doubt. Learning doesn't mean just reading books or attending classes. It is a mindset, a way of approaching life with curiosity, openness, and humility. It is about asking questions, seeking understanding, and embracing the idea that there is always room to grow. When you feed your mind with knowledge, whether it is through books, podcasts, conversations with mentors, or observing the world around you, you give yourself the tools to navigate life more effectively. Knowledge expands your perspective, allowing you to see solutions where others see obstacles, to find opportunities where others see only problems. It builds confidence because the more you know, the less uncertainty feels overwhelming. But learning is not only about acquiring information, it is about internalizing it, applying it, and letting it change the way you think and act. A person who continuously learns develops mental flexibility. They are able to adapt to challenges, accept feedback, and improve themselves consistently. It also instills humility, because the more you learn, the more you realize how much there is yet to know. This awareness keeps you grounded while simultaneously pushing you forward. Continuous learning also inspires creativity and innovation. When your mind is constantly exposed to new ideas, concepts, and experiences, it begins to connect seemingly unrelated dots in unique ways. This is the foundation of problem solving, growth, and personal transformation. And the beauty of this habit is that it doesn't require massive effort. It requires consistency, curiosity, and the willingness to invest time in yourself every single day. Even 10 minutes of focused learning each day can compound into enormous growth over time, much like tiny drops of water filling a bucket. In essence, by committing to continuous learning, you are building a mindset that is resilient, adaptable, and empowered. A mind that doesn't fear challenges because it is equipped to handle them, and a mind that thrives on growth because it understands that life is a journey of endless possibilities. Mindful awareness is a habit that has the power to completely transform the way you experience life. In today's fast-paced world, Our minds are constantly pulled in multiple directions. Thoughts racing about the past, worries about the future, distractions from our phones, emails, social media, and endless obligations. This constant mental chatter drains our energy, clouds our judgment, and makes it difficult to respond to life with calm and clarity. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing your attention fully to the present moment, of observing your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment, and of learning to respond rather than react. When you cultivate mindful awareness, you develop the ability to step back and witness your own mind rather than being controlled by it. You begin to notice the patterns of negative thinking, the moments when stress takes over, and the triggers that make you anxious or frustrated. By simply observing these patterns, you create a space between stimulus and response, which allows you to choose how to act instead of being swept away by emotion. Practicing mindfulness can take many forms. It can be meditation, deep breathing exercises, or even moments of quiet reflection during your daily routine. The key is consistency and intention. Even a few minutes of focused breathing each day can dramatically reduce stress, increase concentration, and create a sense of inner calm. Mindful awareness also strengthens emotional resilience. When challenges arise, instead of reacting impulsively or being consumed by worry, a mindful mind can pause, evaluate, and respond thoughtfully. It allows you to navigate difficult conversations, make better decisions, and maintain clarity even under pressure. Furthermore, her mindfulness deepens your appreciation of life's simple joys. When you are fully present, the taste of your food, the beauty of nature, or the warmth of a conversation is experienced more vividly. Life stops being a blur of rushing moments and becomes a series of meaningful experiences. Ultimately, cultivating mindful awareness is like training your mind to be both strong and gentle, alert yet calm, focused yet flexible. It is a habit that strengthens mental clarity, emotional balance, and inner peace, equipping you to face life's uncertainties with confidence, grace, and unwavering strength. Healthy habits are the foundation of a strong and resilient mind. The way we treat our body has a profound impact on the way our mind functions, because the mind and body are deeply interconnected. When we neglect our physical health by eating poorly, avoiding exercise, or sacrificing sleep, we weaken not only our body but also our ability to think clearly, manage stress, and maintain emotional balance. On the other hand, when we care for our body with intention and discipline, we create a fertile ground for mental strength to flourish. Exercise is not just about building muscles or endurance. It releases chemicals in the brain that reduce stress, boost mood, and sharpen focus. Regular movement trains the mind to overcome discomfort, to push through resistance, and to develop consistency, all of which are essential traits of a strong mindset. Nutrition plays an equally important role. The food we consume becomes the energy that powers our brain, affecting our alertness, memory, and emotional stability. Choosing nourishing foods and maintaining balance helps the mind remain clear, calm, and resilient even in stressful situations. Sleep, often undervalued, is another pillar of mental strength. During rest, the brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and restores energy. Without adequate sleep, concentration falters, emotional reactivity increases, and the ability to handle challenges diminishes. Healthy habits are not just about extreme routines or strict regimens. They are about consistent, mindful choices that honor your body and mind. Drinking enough water, taking short breaks during work, stretching, walking outdoors, or practicing simple breathing exercises. These small actions compound over time to create a mind that is alert, composed, and adaptable. Beyond the physical, healthy habits cultivate discipline and self-respect, which directly influence mental resilience. When you show up for your body every day, even in small ways, you send a powerful message to yourself that you value your well-being, your potential, and your ability to thrive. Over time, these practices not only strengthen the body, but also fortify the mind, making it more capable of facing adversity, staying focused on goals, and embracing life with energy and optimism. In essence, taking care of your body is a direct investment in the strength, clarity, and endurance of your mind, creating a cycle of well-being that nourishes both your physical and mental life in equal measure. Surrounding yourself with positivity is one of the most subtle yet powerful habits you can cultivate to strengthen your mindset. The people, environments, and influences you allow into your life have a profound impact on how you think, feel, and act. Just as a plant thrives in nourishing soil and withers in poor conditions, your mind flourishes when it is surrounded by encouragement, inspiration, and support, and it struggles when it is surrounded by negativity, criticism, or toxic energy. Positivity does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. It means consciously choosing to invest your energy in relationships and environments that uplift you, challenge you to grow, and help you see possibilities rather than limitations. Observe the people around you. Do they drain your energy with complaints, judgment, and fear? Or do they inspire you with hope, resilience, and wisdom? When you spend time with those who lift you, your mind naturally begins to adopt their attitudes, their resilience, and their optimism. This is not just about social circles. It extends to the books you read, the content you consume online, the conversations you engage in, and the environments you inhabit. Every input into your mind is a seed that shapes your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Positivity also acts as a buffer against life's inevitable challenges. When difficulties arise, a mind trained to focus on uplifting influences is more capable of finding solutions, staying calm, and persevering. Negative environments, on the other hand, amplify fear, doubt, and frustration, making challenges appear larger and more insurmountable than they really are. Cultivating positivity requires intention and awareness. It means setting boundaries with people or situations that consistently drain your energy and actively seeking out those that inspire and motivate you. It means engaging in activities that bring joy, peace, and learning, and minimizing exposure to those that breed resentment, fear, or lethargy. Over time, this conscious practice rewires your mind to focus on growth, gratitude, and possibility. Surrounding yourself with positivity is not just about comfort. It is about creating an inner environment where your mind can think clearly, make better decisions, and act with courage and confidence. Ultimately, the people and influences you choose to allow into your life shape your mindset in ways that no one else can. By intentionally surrounding yourself with positivity, you create a fertile mental space where strength, resilience, and clarity can grow naturally. empowering you to face life's challenges with grace, determination, and unwavering optimism. Embracing failure as feedback is a mindset that can completely transform the way you approach challenges and setbacks. Too often, we view failure as something to fear, something to avoid at all costs, or even something that defines our worth. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success, it is a vital part of the journey toward it. Every successful person, every great leader, every innovator has experienced failure. What sets them apart is not the absence of mistakes, but the ability to see those mistakes as opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. When you begin to embrace failure as feedback, you remove the fear that holds you back from taking action. You start to see challenges not as threats, but as lessons, experiments that teach you what works, what doesn't, and what you need to adjust. Each setback becomes a mirror reflecting areas for growth, a teacher guiding you toward better decisions and stronger strategies. This shift in perspective also strengthens resilience. Instead of being paralyzed by disappointment, you can respond with curiosity and determination, asking yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? Over time, this habit builds mental toughness, adaptability, and courage because you no longer fear making mistakes. You welcome them as stepping stones toward improvement. Furthermore, embracing failure as feedback fosters creativity and innovation. When you allow yourself to take risks without the paralyzing fear of failure, you open the door to new ideas, approaches, and solutions that you might never have discovered otherwise. It teaches patience and humility, because growth is rarely immediate and mastery requires repeated effort and reflection. This habit also enhances self-compassion. By recognizing that failure is a natural and necessary part of life, you stop being harsh and judgmental toward yourself when things go wrong. Instead, you treat yourself with kindness, acknowledge the lessons, and use the experience to fuel your next attempt. Ultimately, viewing failure as feedback shifts your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. It empowers you to take action, persist through difficulties, and approach life with courage, confidence, and resilience. By learning to embrace failure, you are not only preparing yourself to achieve greater success, but also building a mindset that is strong, flexible, and unstoppable in the face of any challenge. Setting small, achievable goals is one of the most powerful habits you can develop to strengthen your mindset and build lasting confidence. Often, we think that success or transformation requires massive leaps, grand gestures, or overnight breakthroughs. But the reality is that meaningful change comes from consistent, deliberate action over time, and small goals are the building blocks of this process. When you set a small, achievable goal, you create an opportunity for success that is realistic and attainable. Every time you accomplish even a minor objective, your mind receives a signal of capability and competence. This experience of success, however small, releases a surge of motivation and reinforces the belief that you can achieve more. It is a positive feedback loop that gradually strengthens your mindset, teaching you patience, perseverance, and discipline. Small goals also make challenges less intimidating. When a big project or life ambition feels overwhelming, breaking it down into smaller, manageable steps transforms it from a source of stress into a series of achievable milestones. Each milestone reached provides clarity, direction, and momentum, guiding you steadily toward your ultimate goal. Furthermore, setting small goals cultivates focus and attention. It allows you to channel your energy into specific actions rather than being distracted by uncertainty or trying to do everything at once. This focus enhances productivity, reduces mental clutter, and builds a sense of accomplishment that fuels further growth. Another important aspect of small goals is that they help you develop resilience. Not every step will go perfectly, and setbacks may occur along the way. However, because the goals are realistic and incremental, failure or difficulty in one step does not feel catastrophic. Instead, it becomes a learning opportunity, and you can adjust your strategy and continue moving forward without losing momentum or confidence. Over time, consistently achieving small goals compounds into significant progress, transforming your life in ways that sudden, dramatic efforts rarely can. It creates a mindset rooted in action, consistency, and belief in your own capability. In essence, by focusing on small, achievable goals, you train your mind to celebrate progress, learn from experience, and persist with determination. You are building mental strength, resilience, and confidence, all of which empower you to tackle larger challenges with courage and clarity, knowing that each small step brings you closer to the life you aspire to create. Acts of kindness are one of the most powerful habits for developing a strong and resilient mindset. When we think about strengthening the mind, we often focus on personal development, mental discipline, or learning strategies, but we sometimes overlook the profound impact that serving others can have on our own mental and emotional well-being. Kindness is not just about making someone else's life better. It transforms the person who gives it, reshaping thoughts, emotions, and perspectives in ways that build inner strength. When you perform an act of kindness, whether it is helping a friend, supporting a colleague, or simply offering a smile or a word of encouragement, your brain releases chemicals that boost your mood, enhance feelings of connection, and reduce stress. This creates a cycle of positivity that strengthens your mental resilience, making it easier to face challenges and setbacks with a calm and balanced mind. Acts of kindness also foster empathy and emotional intelligence, which are essential components of a strong mindset. By stepping into someone else's experience, understanding their struggles, and offering help, you expand your perspective and learn to navigate complex human emotions with grace. This not only improves your relationships, but also enhances your ability to remain composed and thoughtful in difficult situations. Furthermore, kindness nurtures a sense of purpose and meaning in life. When you contribute to the well-being of others, you feel connected to something larger than yourself. This connection fuels motivation, reduces anxiety, and provides a sense of fulfillment that is deeply grounding, even when circumstances are challenging. The habit of kindness also teaches patience and humility. Genuine acts of service often require effort, sacrifice, and a willingness to put the needs of others before your own, which trains the mind to remain disciplined, compassionate, and resilient. Over time, these small, consistent actions accumulate, creating a mindset that is not only strong but also generous, grounded, and emotionally stable. By making kindness a regular part of your life, you are essentially feeding your mind with positivity, building inner strength, and fostering a mindset that is capable of facing adversity, cultivating happiness, and thriving in the face of life's challenges. In essence, acts of kindness are not just moral choices, they are practical tools for mental and emotional growth, shaping a mind that is resilient, compassionate, and unshakable. Consistency over intensity is a principle that can profoundly transform the way you build a strong mindset. Many of us fall into the trap of believing that change requires dramatic actions, sudden bursts of effort, or overwhelming dedication that can only be sustained for a short period of time. We start with great enthusiasm, push ourselves to extremes, and then burn out, feeling frustrated that our progress was not as fast or as complete as we had hoped. The truth is that lasting growth, mental strength, and personal transformation are not achieved through intensity alone. They are the result of steady, consistent effort over time. Consistency creates momentum. When you commit to small, positive actions every day, you reinforce new habits, strengthen your mind, and build resilience gradually. It is like water slowly carving a rock. The effect is gradual, almost imperceptible at first, but over time, it produces remarkable results. Whether it is dedicating 10 minutes each day to meditation, reading, exercising, practicing gratitude, or any other habit that nurtures your mind, the key is to show up regularly, even when motivation is low or life feels chaotic. This daily commitment compounds, building a foundation of mental discipline, confidence, and inner stability. Consistency also teaches patience and humility because you learn to value progress over perfection, understanding that meaningful change is a journey, not an instant achievement. It allows you to withstand setbacks without losing momentum, because the habit of showing up every day creates resilience and determination. On the other hand, chasing intensity without consistency often leads to disappointment, frustration, and a sense of failure, because even the most dramatic efforts cannot sustain growth if they are not repeated and reinforced. By choosing consistency, you are essentially training your mind to be disciplined, adaptable, and focused. You create a rhythm in your life where small, deliberate actions accumulate into significant transformation, strengthening your mindset in ways that bursts of effort alone never could. In essence, consistency over intensity is the cornerstone of building a strong, resilient, and enduring mind. It teaches you that progress is a process, patience is a virtue, and that true strength comes not from sporadic effort, but from showing up every day, committed to growth, learning, and becoming the best version of yourself. Reflection and self-awareness are habits that hold immense power in shaping a strong, resilient, and purposeful mind. In the rush of daily life, it is easy to get swept away by routine, responsibilities, and distractions, often acting on autopilot without pausing to truly understand ourselves, our decisions, or the direction in which our lives are heading. Reflection is the intentional act of looking inward, examining our thoughts, actions, and emotions with honesty and curiosity, without judgment or criticism. It allows us to gain clarity about what is working in our lives, what holds us back, and where we have the potential to grow. When you practice self-awareness, you develop the ability to recognize patterns in your behavior, understand the motivations behind your decisions, and identify the triggers that influence your emotions and reactions. This knowledge is invaluable because it gives you control over your mind rather than allowing your mind to control you. Reflection also enhances learning from experience. Every challenge, setback, or success carries a lesson, but those lessons are only realized when we pause to evaluate them thoughtfully. By reflecting on your experiences, you can celebrate your achievements, acknowledge your growth, and adjust your strategies moving forward. This cultivates a mindset of continuous improvement, where each day becomes an opportunity to evolve and strengthen your inner self. Moreover, reflection fosters emotional intelligence and empathy, both toward yourself and toward others. By understanding your own emotions and reactions, you become more attuned to the feelings and perspectives of those around you, enabling healthier relationships and more effective communication. It also builds patience and humility, because reflection reminds you that personal growth is a journey, and mistakes or failures are not endpoints, but stepping stones toward deeper wisdom. Practicing self-awareness can take many forms: journaling your thoughts, meditating on your experiences, asking yourself meaningful questions, or even seeking feedback from trusted mentors or friends. The key is consistency and sincerity, approaching the process with an open heart and a willingness to learn. Over time, reflection transforms the mind into a powerful tool of insight, clarity, and intentional action. It helps you make conscious choices rather than reactive ones, strengthens your resilience in the face of challenges, and aligns your actions with your deepest values and goals. In essence, reflection and self-awareness are not just habits, they are the lenses through which a strong, balanced, and purposeful mind perceives the world. They allow you to navigate life with wisdom, confidence, and clarity, ensuring that every step you take is guided by understanding, growth, and mindful intention. The power of visualization is a habit that can dramatically enhance your mindset, your focus, and your ability to achieve your goals. Many people underestimate the effect that imagining success, clarity, and positive outcomes can have on the mind. Visualization is not merely daydreaming or wishing for good things to happen. It is an intentional mental practice where you picture yourself succeeding, overcoming obstacles, and living the life you aspire to lead. When you engage in visualization, you are training your brain to recognize possibilities, to align your actions with your intentions, and to build the confidence necessary to pursue your goals with courage. The mind is incredibly powerful in translating imagination into reality, because the brain often cannot distinguish between vivid visualization and actual experience. When you consistently visualize success, your subconscious mind begins to guide your actions in ways that make that vision more attainable. You start noticing opportunities that align with your goals. You approach challenges with greater creativity, and you maintain motivation even when the path seems difficult. Visualization also helps manage fear and self-doubt. By repeatedly imagining yourself handling challenges with composure, making decisions confidently, and achieving milestones, you reduce anxiety and prepare your mind to respond effectively when similar situations arise in real life. This practice strengthens resilience, focus, and self-belief, because the mind becomes accustomed to seeing potential and opportunity rather than limitation and fear. Additionally, visualization enhances emotional readiness. When you mentally rehearse success, you create a sense of familiarity with positive outcomes, which reduces stress and improves performance when faced with real-world situations. Athletes, leaders, and successful individuals across all fields use visualization consistently because it bridges the gap between intention and action. It is a quiet yet powerful tool that molds your mindset to be proactive, confident, and aligned with your aspirations. The key to effective visualization is clarity, detail, and regularity. The more vividly and consistently you imagine your goals, the more real they become to your mind, and the more motivated you are to take the necessary steps to achieve them. Over time, visualization cultivates a mindset that is not only strong and resilient, but also deeply focused, optimistic, and empowered. In essence, by practicing visualization, you are teaching your mind to believe in possibilities, anticipate success, and navigate challenges with confidence, creating a powerful internal environment where your goals are not just imagined, they become achievable realities.